Jello Beats, holla at me.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another video. I hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good week so far. Week's gone super fast for me, but it's been productive in a sense so far. Good week of fat loss, so I'm a happy bunny. Right, so today's topic, why you shouldn't perhaps blame your coach. Now, what sparked this topic, because a lot of the time these topics do get sparked by something that happens in my day-to-day life and my coaching. So obviously I am a full-time online coach. It's what I do for a living, and these topics primarily come from conversations or things that I talk about or see online. And the reason why this one has come to the top of my head is because recently I have been getting, unfortunately / fortunately, inquiries from people that have been coached in the past. And obviously as part of my consultation process, we get on a phone call together, we get to know each other a little bit more, and I get to know the client's background. And a lot of the time, there's good coaches that they've had, and these coaches I potentially know or have heard of. And the same goes for coaches that I've heard of and they've had a bad experience with. And some of the time it can be that bad experience and the way that it's portrayed by the client or the previous client is quite true, and the service probably just wasn't adequate, and that's cool. But some of the time I think that it's not what I've heard potentially. In fact, probably not what I've heard, because I think what I've heard from the clients that are inquiring with me is very genuine, and that their previous coaches just weren't doing what they should have been doing in a sense and not achieving the results they wanted. But I do think there's a time and a place where coaches get a bad mouth for the wrong reasons. And people will look upon coaches through the lens of their clients. And this is so fair, this is so true. So when a client posts up a progress picture or a show day shot and tags their coach, immediately the limelight is on the coach. And now the coach will get the comments and the coach will get the feedback. So for example, when I put up Andrew's show photos, people were like, wow, he's shredded, superb. And so the limelight was there on me, and therefore I was looked upon as a coach that got people into very good shape. And that, whilst that's amazing, that's a large part predicated by Andrew. That's a large part predicated by the guy that put in the work. So just think about that for a minute. I just want you to think, just for 2 seconds, just think about how important it is about how the client does the work. Cool, so you thought about that. Now, let's think about the reverse. Let's think about when a client doesn't quite achieve what they want. And when a client turns up on stage a little bit off, or when a client goes through a fat loss phase and doesn't quite get there. Who are we quick to judge? Who are we quick to blame as the subculture of bodybuilding that we are? We're quick to blame the coach. We're quick to say, he doesn't get people in condition. He brings bikini girls to the stage soft. He brings his bodybuilders out of condition. But does he or does she? You can't possibly say anything like that without context. You just simply cannot. And whilst the process, and I'm sure there's some coaches out there that just really genuinely don't do a good job. And that's not cool. And I don't like that at all. But what most coaches do throughout the subculture that I know and the environment that I'm in, with the people that I'm surrounding myself with, let's name a few names. Team 3DMJ, Cliff Wilson, Revive Stronger, Brandon Wadus. These people, amongst others of course, I know they are doing superb jobs. And I know that if there's one client that particularly maybe steps on stage and is a little off or not quite there, that's a large part down to the client and not the coach. And it's unfortunate that we're so quick to blame the coach as opposed to thinking about things in context and thinking, okay, what did the client potentially not do? Did the client potentially not adhere? Did they go on holiday and did the coach have no control over that? Did they sort of, did they not have the mindset there? There's so many things that you can question that you really need to gather context on before you can say that coach doesn't bring someone in shape. I just think that's just a horrible thing for some coaches to go through when their client potentially hasn't adhered. And then a coach isn't going to put up a post saying, here's my guy, he did really, really well, but he cheated 40 times on a contest prep diet, so he was off. You know what? In my opinion, I think that's a fucking damn fair post. Because that guy signed up for contest prep and didn't do it properly. And almost gave a bit of a bad name for the coach. And that's not fair at all. So, guys, and there's a lot of things that you do need to consider as well. Part of the time, clients will want to do shows which particularly fall into their year and work well with their circumstances and when they can compete. And sometimes a coach, I've battled it myself with people that I have to tell them, I know you really want to do that show, but you're not going to be 100% ready for you. Are you okay with that? And a lot of my clients are, and they accept it. And they accept that, okay, I won't be bang on the money for this one, but I might do a later one as well that will also work my schedule. And we'll see how we get on at that one. I'm just a very honest coach. Obviously, some of the things like this honesty, you can't potentially portray on social media. So please, guys, when you look from the outside looking in, when you look through the lens and you see the clients that a potential coach is coaching, just take it all with a pinch of salt and realise that girl, she might have had a load of stress going on at home. She might have been she might have had an injury that she was coming back from that she hasn't mentioned. She might have had issues with work. She might have had a boyfriend dump her 6 weeks out. Just gather a little bit more perspective in your minds before you think, oh, okay, that coach just doesn't put his clients through enough pain or something like that. And luckily I haven't really been a suspect of that yet. But I can imagine that as the more people I put on stage, or the more people that I put through sort of extended periods of fat loss or muscle gain, the more this will potentially occur. And so I just wanted to put this video out there so people realise that nothing is worth value without context. You need to gather the whole story before you lay judgment. And that includes any coach. And obviously if there's super amounts of regularity in the circumstances, then you can start to gather a bit of a better picture of things. But if it's one or two occasions where things don't quite work out, don't immediately judge the coach. Because the client could have been too fat at the start. They could have rushed. These things do happen. And sometimes you just got to accept it. So guys, that's going to be the video for today. So I hope you've taken away something from this and maybe sort of change your mindset a little bit when it comes to looking at the fitness industry, looking at the subculture of bodybuilding and realizing that not everything is as it comes across. You need to take things with a little bit of pinch of salt. Cool, guys, enjoy your Thursday. I've got a push workout later, so I've got to retain my numbers as much as I can. But I'm feeling pretty good this week. I've had a few rougher days, but other than that, I'm all good. Hope you guys are good, and we will chat tomorrow. Cheers, guys.